Transmitting live from the Asylum Studios, deep in the bowels of Southwest Texas. It's the Joe Rooz Show. The show where we talk about anything and everything. Where nothing is sacred, nothing is watered down, and nothing is PC.
All righty. Hey, folks. This is Joe Rooz, and it is 12:45 hours on Saturday, August the 23rd, 2025. And we are broadcasting to you live right now from the Asylum Studios, deep in the bowels of Southwest Texas, the pimple on the backside of Texas, the beautiful city of Eagle Pass. Welcome to the Joe Rooz Show. It is great to have you guys here with us today on another Saturday afternoon. I know we don't do Saturday shows very often, but it's a lot of fun when we do. And today we're going to have our resident crypto psychic joining us shortly in about 15 minutes or so. And, oh, you know what I forgot to do? Oh, man. I forgot to queue up the crypto psychic track. I wonder if I can do that while we're doing the show. Let's take a look here. But, folks, I hope you guys have had an enjoyable start to your weekend at least. It's been a pretty good one so far here. Finally tested negative for COVID, which is always a great thing. And we are really, I don't know if I'm going to say I'm looking forward to getting back to work, but I'm looking forward to getting back to work, if you know what I mean. Been kind of hanging out here at the house. It's been a bit, I guess you could say, dealing with cabin fever. Just kind of sitting around the house. And I mentioned it yesterday on the show that I I took a bunch of really strange pictures and sent them to just a few friends. So nothing, not, and they were the what do you call it? The disposable kind of pictures. So they disappeared after a short while. So that's always a good thing. That's why you got to love apps like WhatsApp, and you got to love apps like Signal, which, by the way, it's a great app. You should really try it out if you could. But yeah, other than that, just looking forward to getting back to the regular routine. And when I say weird pictures, I don't mean anything like creepy weird, like wrapping the head in towel type of pictures and stuff like that. Fun stuff, nothing crazy. And I'm holding my tissue here. We'll put it over there because I might need it later. Well, yesterday's show went off really well. I thought it was pretty good. I hope you guys were able to check it out. We had on our first hour, we had Jake Giffen, who was a fantastic guest. Really enjoyed having Jake on the show. And it's funny when you match up with folks on things like Podmatch and places like that. You never really, you don't really know what you're going to get. And but Jake was great, man. We connected on a lot of things. We had a lot of things in common, which was unexpected, to say the least. And then in the second hour, we had Landon Shumway, who wrote this incredible book. You got to check it out on with the assistance of AI. And we tackled a lot of really interesting questions during the course of the show. So if you didn't catch that, you need to check it out as well. And then we just got a crypto show for you today. We got a couple of things in the news that we're going to talk about, a few updates that we're going to go through, and it's going to be pretty interesting here. But before we get into any of that stuff, the usual cleanup. Housekeeping stuff. So if you would, just head over to our website, joerooz.com. That's joerooz.com. When you get over there, please don't forget to open up that web form. Look for the contact section. Open up the web form. Send us over any questions, comments, cares, or concerns that you have, any issues that you might have. If you have any suggestions on a type of a guest you'd like us to try to get, or a particular subject matter that you'd like us to address, we are open to that always. Now, last Tuesday, we had our Do No Harm episode of the show, and we had our sponsor, the CEO of Ezra Healing, on the show with us, Svetlana Rilkov, and we talked about a few things that, some of which were not exactly guy-oriented, I guess you could say. We talked about menopause. We talked about a few other things, women's health related. That was a request from a listener. So we aimed to please. So we did that. And then we talked about a few other things as well. We talked about some men's issues also. So we're open to get those kind of suggestions from you. So if you want to send them on over, just, feel free to do that. You can do that anytime by using the contact form or by reaching out to us at our email address at info@joerooz.com. That's info@joerooz.com. And then, of course, just head over to our support page, and if you would help us out with a donation, we appreciate that. And of course, we'll go through all of the specifics of the donation tiers at the end of the show, as we always do. And then, but just understand that this is a value for value show, and if there's anything that we're putting out that you're gaining any value from, we're asking that you return that value to us in the form of a donation, and that donation can be your time, your talent, your treasure. 1, 2, 3, all of them, whatever, however you can do it, whatever your means allow. And we would really appreciate that. And then, of course, don't forget to head over to our affiliate link with Alex Jones. So that's thealexjonesstore.com/Joe. And if I could find the little finger here, seems to have disappeared. There we go. thealexjonesstore.com/Joe. And as you see, I have my Ultra Methylene Blue right here. And This stuff is fantastic. I'm going to tell you honestly, I think this stuff helped me get through COVID the last week. I was drinking it twice a day. It was it's pretty darn good. I love it right now. I just have it in just some regular sparkling water. This stuff is amazing. It looks darker than what it is for some reason. It's really not that dark, but that's power, folks. That's power. This stuff is a cleanse. It cleanses you out at the mitochondrial level, and the mitochondria are the powerhouse of your cells. So some folks get that electrical feeling through their extremities. I don't. I get that calm, relaxed, meditative, thoughtful kind of approach from it. So this stuff is fantastic. I really would encourage you to check it out. So please do so on the alexjonesstore.com/Joe. Some great deals going down right now. And remember, every purchase you make is 10% comes right back here to the show. So that's always incredibly, incredibly helpful. All right. Now, folks, as we mentioned, we talked about Ezra Healing. We had our CEO on the show for Ezra Healing on Tuesday. But what is Ezra Healing? Ezra Healing is a substantial part of the new wellness paradigm currently being born in North America and around the globe. Global citizenry are no longer satisfied with the sick care version of so-called healthcare. Band-Aid medicine, endlessly treating symptoms rather than root causes, must be abandoned, and it must be abandoned as soon as possible. Patient-centric care must be the priority. We need to transition towards the do no harm model of private care that places humanity at the forefront of real health and wellness care. In this new model, your entire lifestyle is examined and analyzed to promote and support the totality of your body's integrated systems. Ezra Healing is a solutions-based health promotion, disease prevention, grassroots movement that's always evolving to best serve you and to best serve your family. Now, for more information, just head over to EzraHealing.com. It should be right up there on the screen, EzraHealing.com, and check out what they have to offer. They have a lot of programs. They have a lot of supplements you can purchase through them as well. And folks, if you are listening up in the Alberta, Canada area, you know that you're a minister up there. I still get confused with the Canadian, description of things. You're a minister, you're whatever it is moving to ban certain antiparasiticals like ivermectin, which are known to be helpful in treating cancers and also other illnesses as well. They're looking to ban it. And they're looking to ban it because they know it works, and because they know it works, they don't want to starve the healthcare industries of that revolving door revenue that keeps you sick, so you keep coming back. So check them out at EzraHealing.com, EzraHealing.com, and I'm pretty sure, because I decided to stream this on YouTube, so I'm pretty sure that at some point I'm going to get kicked from YouTube for saying that, another strike as it is. All right. And then the last thing I want to tell you about is, of course, Rumble Premium. As you know, we are part of the Rumble Premium Creator Program. And as part of that program, there's certain episodes and certain shows that we're going to have to put behind the Rumble Premium paywall. But and the reason why we're doing that is because Rumble Premium is growing fast and it's not slowing down. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. That's why we stream on Rumble. That's our primary stream, and that's why we're staying here, because it protects free speech. Like I said, we're probably going to get another strike on YouTube because of my comment there about alternative treatments for cancer. But Rumble Premium's here, and Rumble Premium is an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform, no pre-rolls, no interruptions, just the content that you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite creators. Right now, Rumble is offering $10 off an annual subscription. All you need to do is head over to Rumble Premium, rumble.com/premium, and use the promo code STUDIO at checkout. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. No ads, more freedom, and content you actually care about. And I think that's the deal, and that's the great deal that they offer you. Rumble.com/premium, code promo code studio. All right. I probably should have turned the other banner off there before we did it, but that's all right. Let's see. What else do we got here? I think that should just about do it for us as far as that goes. But when you hear this, you know what's coming up. We have with us today our resident crypto psychic and financial guru, Marisa Lee. Thanks for joining us today on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. How you doing?
Great. How are you, Joe?
Oh, doing much better. Much better. Yeah, I decided to start a little earlier so I can get all the housekeeping stuff out of the way.
Sounds good.
And I'm glad I did. But feeling much better. Finally got my negative COVID test yesterday.
Good.
And we are ready to rock and roll. But still didn't miss a show all week. We did our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday show. We did our Friday show. And here we are on Saturday. No stopping us. No stopping us.
You are determined to be successful, and I love that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And in solidarity, I even shaved the head.
And it looks great.
Well,
it looks great. It's a good look.
I appreciate that. My friend said I just need to put the little thing on the side of the head there, like the prison tat. I'm not going to say what it is because I'll get a strike on YouTube for that too. So, but I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, how are you doing? How's everything? How's the last? We haven't spoken since what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks. I'm so busy. Yeah, just I work a lot on my Patreon account. I've gotten a lot of new members over the course of the last 30 days. So I'm trying to put out a lot of content on there to make everybody happy and to give as much information as I have. That's where I'm posting, primarily now over TikTok, because the TikTok algorithm changed significantly in May, and now it just changed again, and it's terrible. Now you can only use 5 hashtags on your videos. So every creator is going to get significantly less views. So I'm kind of like, well, they're making it a lot harder to go viral now. So I'm like, I need to focus on my Patreon account. And so that's kind of what I've been doing.
So you think that's the reason, though, that they're doing it just to limit the creators as far as the viral videos? Or do you think it has to do with also their monetization program? Do you think they're trying to kind of even out that whole process?
Well, this is the problem with them becoming more US based. I actually liked it better when it was 100% China. I know that sounds a little bit crazy, but they had a better algorithm. One of the things that I do not agree with Trump on, and I'm not like a MAGA person. I really try to stay like right in the middle of everything. I do like him for crypto, but I don't agree with everything he does. So this is probably one of the things that I'm a little bit, against in terms of TikTok becoming half US based, is because now the algorithm's changing and they're making it a lot harder. They want you to pay to have your videos go viral. And it's not as good as it was before. Yeah, it's more Meta based now. And I know they're on Meta servers, and Meta is terrible with their algorithm. If you own a business and you start a business Facebook page, you're not going to be in front of a new audience unless you pay for it, and you're paying about $1 a follower. So, it's
that's ridiculous. I have a Facebook page for the show, and but I hardly ever use it because, first of all, I can't live stream the show on Facebook until you hit a certain number of followers on your page. You could live stream on your personal page, but not to sound all like snooty or anything. I don't want everybody on my personal page, and
right.
and even that doesn't really work. I have every setting on my Facebook page as public, but yet every time I try to do a live stream with the show, it's hidden from view. For live viewers, and I got to go back in later on and switch it over to public, so it's not live. It's still. So I stopped doing it. Now all I do is I just post the link and send everybody over to Rumble, and hopefully folks will subscribe there. Which, by the way, to the newer members of our Rumble channel here, thank you so much for joining up. We jumped up another couple over the last few days, so we really appreciate that, and hope you guys stick around. But I'm not really thrilled with Facebook. I honestly don't see much of a purpose for it. I don't get a lot of traffic from it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like when I think of it, I'll go over and post it. So if you do follow it for the show, you're going to see gaps. You'll see like episode 80 something, and then I'll jump up to episode 112 because whatever, let me go post it.
Yeah.
I hardly ever use it. I don't use TikTok at all, really. I mean, I get on there if I see you post something, or if I see somebody else that I'm following closely post something, I'll jump on there and I'll share it and like it and whatever. But as far as putting content up there, I don't do it. And even I got a notification the other day from TikTok saying that I've unlocked the ability to do live,
Mhm.
but I have no idea how to do that with the show.
Yeah.
I really don't. I was looking for it to see if they have that. What do they call that? An RTMP, something that I can load into the studio here, but haven't found that. And I'm not going to sit here with a cell phone up here and everybody sit here watching from a different angle of the show. And
Yeah.
then when we stop, to see me sitting there doing what? Just picking the nose. Or
Well, TikTok does have a TikTok studio, but you can't unlock it until I think you have like 10,000 followers. And, I used to go live and give tarot card readings, and I don't really do that a whole lot anymore. They changed their algorithm with that too. So, even though I have 45,000 followers, I'm lucky if I have 10 people watching my live stream. So I'm kind of like, what's the point? So I don't know. I as much as I love TikTok, and it's really helped me build my business. I'm trying to kind of get away from it a little bit more and use other platforms just to kind of branch out a little bit more.
right.
So
And you don't use Instagram really at all, do you?
no, that's like a Meta company. I am totally
Yeah.
against Meta. I think Meta is terribly run. I think it's one of those just pay to play constantly, which I don't mind doing here and there, but I'm not gonna put $10,000 into ads just to get 10,000 followers. To me, I want more than that. So if I'm going to put that kind of money into it. So TikTok is still better, honestly. It's still better, but it's starting to go downhill. So
Yeah. Well, American hands in it. That's why.
yep, for sure.
So, speaking of things related to government interventions here, and it can't even really say it's government because it's not. The Fed Reserve is not anything to do with the federal government. It's a private corporation run by private banks. But what do you think about Jerome Powell lowering the interest rates?
I am not a Jerome Powell fan in any way, shape, or form. I don't even know who is. Like, who wakes up in the morning and says, that guy's doing a good job? I mean, I don't know anybody that thinks that. I mean, interest rates in this country have been inflated for so long, and all he talks about is inflation. And I'm just sitting there like, people can't buy houses. People are paying, 20% on their car loans. It's ridiculous. 30% interest rates on their credit cards, and you can't get them lowered even if you have good credit. So
I was just going to say that too. I got one of those solicitations in the mail the other day, and I was looking at it, and I was like, well, let's take a look and see what they got to offer here. And I just looked at it, and I was, well, let's see what the interest rate is. Holy crap, it was over 30%.
Oh, jeez.
It was over 30%. I'm like, that's insane.
Yep.
And what do you get on a savings account for interest? 0.00000001 or something like that?
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. So, it's one of those things where you end up using credit a lot less, and you try to put yourself in a situation where you don't need to get a loan or you don't need to use a credit card. And that's great and all, but a lot of people are cash poor right now. So
it's impossible to save any money.
Yeah, it really is with the price of everything. Jerome Powell's like, oh, inflation this, inflation that. I'm like, it's already here. What are you talking about? So him not lowering interest rates right now is not in the best interest of the country, in my opinion. But a certain amount of pressure has been put on him for sure. And he is going to
talk about that too.
Yeah, he's going to do it soon. I mean, he made an announcement yesterday that he was thinking about doing it on like September 17th or something along those lines. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just kind of saw a blurb of it. So that's kind of what I got from it.
September 17th, that's Constitution Day.
Is it?
Yeah.
See, I think that he's going to do it before then. I think that there is so much pressure on him from the Trump administration that he is going to end up doing it a little bit sooner rather than later. And it's going to be one of those things. He doesn't want to personally be attacked. I mean, he doesn't want audits, personal audits. He doesn't want audits on the Federal Reserve. He doesn't want his house raided. And, if he doesn't get on board, Trump doesn't mess around. He wants what he wants, and he's going to get what he wants. And as he's negotiating peace between Russia and Ukraine, he, at the same time that happens, he wants the interest rates to be dropped as well, so the financial markets start to thrive like very fast. So I do believe that if we get to the point where we hear about a peace deal from Ukraine and Russia, and I do think that that's coming very soon, I think there's going to be even more pressure on Powell to lower that interest rate now. And it's going to be one of those I'm not messing around kind of deals. You need to do this right now. So if we see that manifest, that is the bull run right there for the crypto market. We're going to see crazy stuff happen. And also the stock market too is going to go up significantly.
I think so too. All indications that I've seen so far is that the economy is ready to blow. It really is. And once those interest rates do come down, I think we've been doing really well as far as bringing in revenue through the tariffs that everybody was so dead set against. But what's eating them up is we're not. And the when I say eating it up is that the average everyday man on the street, you, me, others, we're not really seeing the benefits of that yet because the interest rates are so high, because the cost of everything is so high. And then of course they blame the tariffs. You hear on MSLSD, they're always they're always complaining about still the price of things are up. Well, yeah, of course, it took 4 years for it to get to where it is. It's going to take a little while for it to get back down to where it should be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have people like Jerome Powell that are actively working to slow down this recovery for whatever purpose, whether you think it's a nefarious purpose or not, I don't know. But for whatever reason he is intentionally slowing this whole thing down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's a bad spot to be in for Jerome Powell. And I also heard that they're interviewing folks for for his replacement.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how true that is. I would like to think that it is, but I don't know what the president's role in hiring and firing. I know he can appoint or he can hire somebody, but I don't think if it's true that he can't fire who he hires, that's ridiculous.
I know. I agree. Yeah, I think if Jerome Powell's going to end up leaving, he's going to leave on his own accord. I don't feel like it's going to be because he got fired. And it's not because I don't think Trump doesn't want to fire him. I feel like he's afraid that it would affect the markets too much. So I don't know, though. I think that after he lowers the interest rates, I think things will kind of die down for him, and there's a good chance that he stays. So I don't like him personally. I think we need to get rid of the Federal Reserve. Period. Like altogether. That was an organization that should have never been formed. But over time, we'll see what happens. I do think that we're going to start implementing things that get away from the dollar, like, using the blockchain, using Bitcoin more. And that's one of the ways that we kind of start to take the power back rather than, allow the Federal Reserve to control everything financially in the country.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Now, speaking of cryptos, I heard that stablecoin is or Tether actually, which is a stablecoin, is buying the U.S. debt and it's taking the profits and buying Bitcoin with it. What do you think about that?
I love it. I love everything about that. I think if we take the national debt and put it on the blockchain, number one, you can't mess with the numbers. Okay. Number two, we the people, like all the taxes we're paying, it's going to go back into the blockchain, which is going to help investors. So, in a way, you kind of can help get some of your money back, right? Just by buying Bitcoin. And I'm not a big Bitcoin person. I do think it's going to do, 10 times from where it's at right now. I do think Bitcoin will hit $1 million in years to come, not like anytime soon. But it's a way to kind of take back control of things. The more we have government-wise on the blockchain, the better off we're going to be, because there's so many numbers that are being mishandled and fudged, and the public can keep track of the transactions on the blockchain, because every transaction on the blockchain is public record. So
that's interesting. So I don't know. See, I'm like you. Like, I'm kind of torn on the whole Bitcoin thing because I just think purchasing Bitcoin is just unattainable for the average person. It's just impossible to do, and it fluctuates so much. Right now, where is it right now? It's like 113.
Yeah,
Under
I think it was
13,000.
like about 113 today. I don't know. I don't watch Bitcoin closely, even though I probably should. But you can buy a little bit of Bitcoin. You could buy $20 worth of Bitcoin if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
But you don't see any return on $20 of Bitcoin. It's like nothing. Because with the show, we take satoshis, sats as donations through the modern podcast apps, and they're literally it's literally just pennies when you think about it, and which by the way is kind of depressing when you think that I have so many people that are listening on the modern podcast apps and they can't fork over a couple of pennies to support a show. I mean, come on, people, help us out here. But I think 100 satoshis is like 10 cents.
hmm
So it's just I don't know. I wish I would have gotten in on Bitcoin when it was first out there. First started out. I kicked myself.
we all do. We all do. Everybody in the world says that. I mean, of course, right? You're at this point. If you want to make a long-term investment in crypto, but you want it to be a little bit more stable, you're better off buying Ethereum or XRP.
Right.
They're two of the big dogs. They're going to move a lot faster than Bitcoin over time. They're stable over time, and you're going to make more in profits that way. So
Yeah, and that's what I've been doing too. I've been throwing some money into XRP, into Ethereum, and Algo, of
oh
course.
yeah, Algorand's a gem.
Yeah, no, it's great. So I've been throwing it into that, and a little bit here, a little bit there. So I'm at the point now where I'm starting to see some return from it.
Good.
So I'm happy about that. So the bull run, we talked about the bull run coming up. What events do you think are going to trigger a bull run?
I really think it's this Russia-Ukraine situation. As stupid as that is, because it's kind of like, well, how much does that really affect us in our day-to-day lives? Sure, we're funding it and whatever. I feel like when we hear that there's a final peace deal in that situation, that's going to trigger the financial markets. And I do think that there's a chance, not guaranteed, that there's a chance Jerome Powell might then step up and say, okay, I'm cutting interest rates at the same time. So if those two things happen at once, we're golden. But it doesn't necessarily require both events to happen in order for the bull run to start. I really think that we're going to hear some good news about a peace deal coming up here soon.
Oh, I hope so. The one thing is, I know we don't usually talk geopolitics on
I know.
when we chit chat, but like one of the things that I heard over the last couple of days is right at that meeting that the president had with the foreign heads of state, Trump is pushing for an all-out peace. He's not looking for ceasefires or anything like that at this point. He just wants it to end. But for some reason, the European leadership is all insisting on just a ceasefire at this point and not pushing toward direct peace. And I'm hoping that it does come to just complete end. It's just unnecessary. And just think about the billions of dollars that this country has sent over to Ukraine to sustain this war. It's just we just cannot do it anymore. It is just it is impacting the lives of everyday Americans, and it shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah,
So I'm
it's
hoping that there's going to be a direct peace. I'm hoping that it's not going to be just a ceasefire. And on top of that, I'm hoping that the Fed rate does come down. I think, and I agree, because I agree with you. I think all of those things is like the perfect storm to really stimulate this economy and get this thing moving, at a much faster pace than it already is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no reason the financial markets shouldn't be thriving more right now. And it just has to do with a lot of BS that's already been in place that we just kind of have to resolve. And I do see our president actively working to try to make these things right. And there are people involved in this war that want it to continue. They're profiting off of it. It's terrible. It's sick to me. It's very sick to me because there's so many people dying senselessly. Countries are, Ukraine's like, most of it's destroyed. I mean, what are we doing here? Like, seriously.
1.7 million Ukrainians have died since this war.
Terrible. That's terrible.
That's more than a generation.
Yeah.
1.7 million. Just put your that's about the size of some of the smaller states in the union.
That's terrible.
That's
terrible. Yeah, no, that's awful. I'm totally always for peace. Nobody, I mean, who wakes up in the morning and says, "Oh, I think war is good," unless you're profiting off of it. And even then, you're not going to talk publicly about it, but you're going to put up a fight and come up with different reasons as to why you can't concede this and you can't concede that. So you have to kind of read between the lines here, and also keep in mind too. I don't like Putin and I don't like Zelensky. Honestly, I don't like either of them. But I'll say this: Zelensky was an actor that they propped up at the last minute during an election. So when you see that, I'm kind of like, who financed that? So there's special interest behind him, and there are some funny things going on in Ukraine. He's not just this big victim. And I'm not saying Putin is good at all, but I'm just saying, like, there's issues on both sides of this. Like, it's not just one person. Is the feel that I get with this. And I don't really follow this very closely at all. I don't watch anything on the news about it. I just the whole thing just drives me nuts. So I just try to tune it out. It's very negative. It brings like negative energy into my house when I start like watching things on TV,
right?
and I'm just like, okay, I need to like watch something more positive. I can't control this. And I tell people not to worry about things you can't control, especially when it comes to politics, because there's such a big division in this country when it comes to politics. Some people are like really far left, some people are really far right, and they just sit there and yell at each other. And there's so much hatred behind this.
Right.
And it's like, why are you worried about something you cannot control? You are not in, this is not a situation you created. This is not a situation that you can fix. So why are you even talking about it? Like, let's do something to raise our vibration. Let's put out some good energy. Let's help each other. Let's spread some love. That's what we can do. As just the average Joe, right? No pun intended.
I always hated that. I always hated those little comments, those little sides, the average Joe. Nothing average about a Joe.
There is nothing, especially you, Joe. There's nothing average about you. Yeah.
We have to keep that in mind. We have to make sure we should make a T-shirt, not your average Joe.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. T-shirt department. Let's get going on that one. So let's get back to the cryptos, because the politics stuff, it gets on me a little bit, and I start getting fired up, and it's a Saturday. I'm going to relax. I don't want to get too crazy here. So, in the past, we talked about meme coins, and I know you're not a big fan of meme coins. Neither am I. And but you have talked favorably about one or two here or there. So what meme coins are you looking at right now that you can recommend?
So I still like Gunna. I know we talked about that on your last show. But the thing is, it's such a new project that it needs more listings. It's not even on like coinmarketcap.com where you can actually like look up the price, right? But they did apply for a listing on CoinGecko, I want to say. I think I saw a post on X about that. So that was really positive. So we will be able to look at the price of Gunna soon, is what I'm hoping. And then I believe they also applied for a Bitmart listing. So that is going to be big. That's like definitely a step in the right direction. And obviously there's still more to come with that. They still need to get on like Uniswap. They need to get on PancakeSwap. They need to get on SushiSwap. I think there's a Shiba swap that they can get on. They need to get on some of the swapping sites. The more platforms they're on, the more people are able to buy into it. And then when you have a certain amount of liquidity in the coin, you can apply for a listing on crypto.com. That is when you start rolling with the bigger dogs, right? And then you get some liquidity from crypto.com. Then you get a Coinbase listing, or then you get a Kraken listing. Then you get an Uphold listing. Like, you can go far with this. They just have to continue to keep taking those steps. And I've seen a little bit of it. So we'll see what happens. It's still in the very beginning stages, and it can really go either way. But it's okay to have a little Gunna in your portfolio. So I still like Gunna. I like Dog Whiff Hat. That has a lot of substance behind it. And I do like the Pudgy Penguins. Those are the three cryptos that I would recommend in terms of meme coins. And I don't like a lot of meme coins. Now, some people are big Shiba Inu investors, like I used to be, because Shiba ran big on the last bull run, but it's kind of lost a little momentum. I do think we'll still see profits this year. I do. I know it's going to go up, but I'm not necessarily accumulating more at this point. I'd rather put my money into something I know is going to make 5 to 10 times my money over the course of a year. Whereas I do think at some point Shiba's going to die out. So right now it's Dog Whiff Hat and Pudgy Penguins and a little bit of Gunna.
So Dog Whiff Hat, Pudgy Penguin, Pudgy Panda.
Pudgy Penguin.
Pudgy Penguin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I found that one because somebody kept on commenting on my videos, "Oh, do Pudgy Penguins, do Pudgy Penguin." And I'm like, I'm only doing this by request. This isn't something that I would normally like recommend. And then as I ran cards and I tapped into it a little bit, I saw it becoming very successful. I do think the creators of Pudgy Penguin, they are constantly doing stuff to promote their coin. They're on all the platforms. I mean, they are the whole package here. But it's also been out for a while, so you're not getting it at a premium price. You're getting it at a price, that's maybe like a little bit higher right now. So that's why it's important sometimes with meme coins to get in early. But you have to get in the right projects early, and sometimes it can be hard to pick those before they're listed on the major exchanges.
And how do you like? I know it's probably hard to do, but those pump and dumps. I mean, you got to be so careful with what you're putting your money into. Like, what's something we should look for when you see something new come out that might tip you off that this might be a pump and dump?
The majority of them I get that feeling with. So like, I don't know, there's probably like 1,000 or 2,000 meme coins that are released every single day. And it's kind of like, well, which ones are going to be good? Well, like, what are the creators doing? Are they just creating a coin, trying to get people to put money in it and then cashing out? Because a lot of people are doing that. That's why I'm kind of like, generally when I recommend a crypto, it needs to have a lot of exchange listings, where I know that that's not happening. There's good liquidity in this pool, and it's not going to just be dumped by the creators. So.
Gotcha. So I know you mentioned the cards earlier. So what do the cards tell you about Chainlink?
Oh, Chainlink's a beast. Chainlink is an Oracle network that's tied to hundreds of different projects here. So, and I believe, if I recall correctly, their CEO is involved in some kind of government crypto. What is it called? Don't they have like some kind of crypto board now, where the Chainlink CEO is on it? I love that. So
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember what the name of the board setup is, but yeah, I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah. So when I see that, and XRP is a part of that too, Chainlink was definitely on the list where Trump was like putting on his True Social, here's a buy list for cryptos. So, and Chainlink was on there. And so I'm like, yeah, no, I know that this is going to be very, very, very successful. I bought it, I want to say at $11 a coin back in like June or July, around there. I'm like, you know what? I don't have enough Chainlink in my portfolio. I bought a bunch of it, and now it's like $26. So it's doubled. And I like seeing that in 30 days. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. I feel like this is going to continue to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And we're still at the beginning stages of crypto. So where is Chainlink going to end up? I mean, I think it has potential to be well over $100 a coin over the course of the next year. So yeah, it's going to be fun to watch that one. That's going to be widely adapted. So if you have Chainlink and you're even down in your portfolio, let's say you just got in on it, just hold it. That is one that I would not convert to something else. I would just hold that long term.
What about Ethereum? Because I know you're a fan of Ethereum. I like Ethereum. I think Ethereum was probably one of the first cryptos that I bought into after I bought some Bitcoins. So what do you think about Ethereum? Where do you see that going? What do the cards tell you about that?
It's a beast. It's a great investment, in my opinion. The last time I ran cards on Ethereum, I want to say I got like an $11,000 price point coming up here soon, like maybe within a few months. So, as you can see, there's a lot of money being poured into Ethereum. There's, an Ethereum ETF. There's all these, what do they call them now? Bitcoin treasuries where Ethereum's in there. So there's all kinds of ways that people are now able to buy Ethereum. And the Ethereum network is probably one of the most widely used blockchains to do anything crypto related, whether that's sending crypto to another wallet, swapping it, running an app on it, running, some kind of AI program. I mean, so Ethereum is solid. I've spoken to many people over the course of the last few months that have, let's say, they've got 20 Ethereum coins. And I'm like, wow, that's impressive. And they want to flip it at some point. And I'm like, hold on to Ethereum as long as you possibly can. I really believe that even in, let's say, 2 years from now, I mean, this could very easily be in the $20,000 range. So you want to just hold that long term. To me, is it going to hit like, Bitcoin prices? I don't know if we're going to quite get that high, but it's going to be tens of thousands of dollars for sure. So this is one you want to just kind of hold on to as long as you possibly can. And hey, anybody watching, if you appreciate Joe Rooz, which I do, I love Joe, go to joerooz.com and send him a little bit of Ethereum as a thank you.
I would love that. The wallet information's up on a support page, so you can find it very easily. And I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And we were talking about the bull run earlier, and I wanted to ask you as a follow-up to the bull run, but how long do you think this bull run is going to last?
A week tops. And even that might be a stretch.
Really?
It's gonna come fast. It's gonna come fast and it's gonna go fast. So we need to really be paying attention. We're looking for that $5 trillion, market cap. Now, because things run fast, I don't know if you've noticed, like, you look at your wallet, let's say in the morning, and you're like, okay, everything is kind of down. And by the time, let's say you go to work for 8 hours and you come home and you log into your account and you're like, oh my gosh, the market just spiked up and, you have a lot more money in there and your investments are worth a little bit more. And then let's say by the time you wake up the next morning, things are down again. So the market moves fast. You have to really pay attention when things start to move. I'm looking for that $5 trillion total market cap, but it could even go a little bit higher than that. We're going to see how fast this runs. If we hit that $5 trillion mark and it goes to 5.2 trillion or it goes to 5.3 trillion, I'm just going to sit back and watch it, wait till it stops going up. And then it kind of starts to go down. And that's when you want to sell it. So when it starts moving a little bit down. So it's going to depend. It's hard to time the market exactly how it's going to move. I can talk generally about the bull run. I felt like the bull run should have already been here, but we've had a lot of political stuff going on in this country. And that's why I hate talking about politics, but it's just kind of like it ties into crypto so much. And I hate that, but whatever, it is what it is. Things are going to take a big shift. It's going to happen very quickly and things are going to start running like crazy and it's going to be payday.
Well, I hope you're right because I would like to make some money. Before we get off the crypto stuff, because I want to ask you some non-crypto related things. Any new cryptos that you want to recommend?
Yeah, I like Epic Chain. Epic Chain is one that I've had my eye on for a little bit here, and I'll say this, as everything goes down, Epic Chain is going up. So they have some kind of independent investors that are putting money into this. And I have a really, really, really good feeling about Epic Chain. Epic Chain is, for me, at least a year hold. So, and I can't say I have tons of money invested in it, but I definitely have a little bit of money invested. It's in my portfolio for sure. And every time I log in, I see it go up and up and up. And I'm like, all right. I think I recommended it when it was in the $2 range, and I think we're in the $3 range now. And that was only like a month ago. So it's moving differently than the market. And I do feel like there's some kind of independent thing going on there. So I like that. I like seeing that, especially when the market's going down and it starts to go up. I'm like, all right, this is solid. So I like Epic Chain. Epic Chain is going to do well over the course of the next year or two. So I'm looking at maybe a $15 to $16 price range on that. Longer term, not necessarily right away. I feel like we're going to hit maybe a $6 price point on Epic Chain over the course of the next 6 months. So that's going to be good.
I haven't heard about Epic Chain. That's a new one to me. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so I made a note for myself, so take a look at that so I can see if I can get in on some of that.
And it's on crypto.com if anybody wants to buy it.
Which I have an account at crypto.com, actually.
Awesome. It sucks having to open up all these different accounts, but then you have access to different cryptos because not every single platform allows you to buy every single kind of crypto. It's like some cryptos are available here, some cryptos are available here. So it's kind of like one of those things. It's like if you're like an aggressive crypto buyer, you're going to have accounts on all these different platforms. So that way you have access to more cryptos.
Yeah. Like right now I have an account with crypto.com. I have a Coinbase account, which I think everybody probably in the world has a Coinbase account. It's probably the more common. I also have an Uphold account. And each one is a little bit different. Each one has their own, things that they focus on. Like there are things that you can get on Coinbase that you can't get on crypto and vice versa, and Uphold vice versa, all that stuff. So yeah, you're kind of spread out. And then there's another coin that I was looking at when we first started talking called Texit Coin. They have their own They have their own wallet now. They have their Texacoin wallet, and then of course, the only place you can get them is on a platform called DexTrade, which is so ridiculously confusing to try to do anything with that. I couldn't even walk you through it if you wanted
Yeah.
me to.
Yeah.
I sit there sometimes I'll sit there for like an hour just, what if I click this? And what happens if I do this? And what about that? Just trying to figure out how to make a trade. And some of them are so complicated, but then like Uphold and Crypto.com and Coinbase, they're very easy. Once
Oh
once
yeah.
you make those initial trades and you get, oh, okay, that's how it works. It's great. Man, you go
Hmm.
on something like DexTrade, holy cow, man. I think they do it on purpose in a lot of ways because they want to keep serious investors in there. They don't want people just coming in and messing around with it. And I think they also try to impress you with a lot of unnecessary and useless information. Like as soon as you log into some of these places, they have these huge graphs, and it's just, I don't need that. Just show me the price.
Yeah. 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 Some
I'm
people really like graphs. Um, I do a little bit. Like if somebody calls me up and I'm giving them a reading and they ask, I get asked all the time to review cryptos that I've never even looked at. So I'll look at the charts on them and I'll kind of like read about, what it's about. And I'll look at the website, because the website attached to a crypto is very important too. How well is it put together? Is it just junk? Is it like just made by like, somebody that doesn't know how to actually put together a website? Because I'm a web developer, so I'm critical. I want to see a professional job. When they put the effort to put a good website up and do a professional job, that like it does help, right?
Yeah.
It shows effort. Um, so yeah, I mean, some people really like the charts though, and I'm not really big on them, but whatever, to each their own. I do kind of like seeing where it started and where it's at now. But where it starts, every single crypto where it starts, it always goes up, right? They don't release all their coins at once. And they're like, oh, the all-time high at a crypto that is now a penny was $2. So people think, oh, it could just go up to the all-time high again. Well, they only released 10% of their supply at that point. So, because you got to look at circulation too. Circulation is so important. People, if I could tell people anything, you have to look at how many coins are in circulation to help
Right.
determine what the price is going to be in the future. What could it possibly go up to? If you have billions of coins available, you're going to need billions of dollars in that crypto in order for it to even hit $1. So you have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, that is very important too. Supply and demand. It's basic economics. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
So we'll get off cryptos for now. I want to ask you something early. Earlier, you mentioned about politics messing with your vibration,
Yeah.
or bringing the vibrations down. So, what exactly do you mean when you say something like that? Like, what do you mean about raising vibration, lowering vibration? What exactly is that? I'm interested in these things. I've been kind of studying up on this stuff more recently. So I found that interesting.
So we all function at like a certain frequency or vibration. And when you actively focus on raising your vibration, it can help attract more positive things into your life, more positive energy. Um, and it's like doing certain things like for example, setting boundaries with people. That is so important. I'll say this. When I started implementing boundaries with people, I ended up cutting a lot of people out of my life, and I am so much happier now. I don't have the weight of their BS on me anymore. I don't have somebody disrespecting me anymore. Instead now I have this wonderful tarot practice that I've built, and people just love me. So and that's awesome. So it can also mean doing things like physical activity. Physical activity can help raise your vibration. One of my mentors, she is one of the best psychics in the country. She always tells us to play. She's like, go get out there and just play. And I'm like, what do you mean play? And well, she means like play a sport.
Mhm.
Like go play a game that makes you happy. Like I love pinball, right? So like sometimes at the end of these expos that I do, I'll take some of my friends that are other psychics. I'll be like, hey, let's go to like an arcade, and we just go there and we just play like kids. It's fun. It's fun, and it's
Nice.
so relaxing, and it really does help raise your vibration because you're putting out positive, happy energy into the world, and you will get that back. There's a lot of different things that you can do. When you embrace self-love, That's going to help raise your vibration. You set those boundaries with people. You talk nicer to yourself, where instead of saying like, "Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that," you start changing your mindset. You know what? Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I am worth that. And you start having an air of confidence about you, not cocky, but just self-love, right? Because there's some people that have big egos. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of egos in this world. I'm not talking about having an inflated ego, because that will lower your vibration. And I've actually seen psychics lose their ability
Really?
significantly when their egos get too big,
Like
right?
completely or just diminish?
Diminish significantly, not to the point where it's not there anymore, but there's a big difference for sure. Um, yeah. Do random acts of kindness for people, and don't ask for anything in return, and don't go around and say, "Oh my gosh, I did this for somebody." You know what I mean? Like, you just do it genuinely because you like to help people.
Yeah.
Um, like one of the things I like to do, because I am a brand partner at Young Living, is I help a lot of senior citizens in my neighborhood. I give them oil changes, is what I call it. So I'll make a blend of oil, because they have pain, they have arthritis pain, they've got pain here, they got back issues, they all have some kind of body pain. So I'll make an essential oil roller for them, and I'll go over to their house and I'll apply it. And so I put oils on their skin, and it helps take some of the pain away. Um,
Nice.
and so, it's just like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just random acts of kindness. You're not asking for anything in return. You just want to help somebody, stuff like that. So raising your vibration, there's all kinds of things that you can do. And if there's one thing I can really advise people to do, is watch The Secret. It's a movie. It's a documentary. It's been out for many years. I watch it about once a year. And lately, I watched it again recently, and I think about it every single day. And there's some great advice in there on how to manifest positive things in your life, how to manifest money, how to manifest love, whatever it is that you're lacking in your life. If you watch The Secret and you start implementing some of those practices, you're going to start manifesting in your life, and it's going to be great. And that's when things start to really change and take a shift for the positive.
No, I know what you're saying about setting up boundaries and having that sense of peace about you, because since I found myself in the situation that I'm in my life right now, one of the things that I've come to value above anything else is peace. And I'm not in anything that I do. I've been looking at how is this going to impact that peace that I have fought so hard to obtain, and I am not willing to sacrifice my peace for anything or
Good.
anyone for that matter. There have been a number of opportunities for relationships that I've turned down and walked away from, because I just didn't feel like I could have that same sense of peace
Hmm.
that I've had up to that point. And if something or someone is not going to bring a level of peace into my life, or maintain the level of peace that I have, I'm not willing to sacrifice it and give it up. My peace of mind has become so important to me that I'm good. The way I'm not, I'm not looking to put myself out and have to deal with all that drama. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying that piece, and so I get exactly what you're saying. And another thing that you said too is that going out and play. Whoever told you that, very smart, because there's a line that I read in a book, and it said, and talking about why should people play and take time away, and separate themselves, and how is that beneficial? Well, the line was, the more complex the mind, the greater the need for the simplicity of play. You need to do that. You need to
Yes.
take that time away for those very, play, like you said, play is not just, sitting down playing a game. Play could be any number of things. It could be working out simple problems, playing around with figures and numbers and things like that. To stimulate your mind, to stimulate the way you think, and to stimulate the way you react in certain circumstances. That could be play as well. Pinball, believe it or not, is something like that, because you are working on reaction, your hand-eye coordination, the speed of your reaction, staying calm in a stressful situation, because I've played pinball too. I love pinball.
Mhm.
Pinball can get pretty intense, especially
Oh, yeah.
especially if you're on a good roll.
Mhm.
And and you got the lights flashing, you got the noise, you got the bumpers, you got all that stuff going crazy around you, and you're staying focused on what you're doing. That is training yourself. That's training your hand-eye coordination. That's training your composure. That's training you, but you're playing at the same time, so it stimulates you. So
Yes.
it's incredibly important to play. You have to play.
Mhm. And it makes you happy. I'll say this. I have a PlayStation 5 and I love games, right? Almost never play it though. I don't have time. But every once in a while, like if I am just really stressed out about something or like I have a lot of anxiety about a worry that I have in my life, I'll go on there and I'll turn on my PlayStation 5 and I'll play a game, whatever game it is I have on there. I don't even know what I have anymore. Um, but yeah, it's like just helps distract me and change, it like shifts your energy to something that actually makes you like kind of happier. Or listening to uplifting music is
Yeah.
another way to shift your mood. It's all about surrounding yourself with positive energy, positive thoughts. Um, showing gratitude for the little things that you have in life. Like I could sit here and I could say, you know what, I'm really grateful to have this microphone right in front of me. I mean, I know it's not as good as yours, Joe, but at least it sort of works. Speaking of microphones, I actually
Sounds
ordered a
great.
new one. I ordered a new microphone this week because I'm not totally happy with this one. And it came and I was really excited about it. And it didn't come with a cord to plug it into my computer. And I'm like, how are you going to send me just a microphone without a cord? Like, whatever.
So,
Anyway,
okay. So you're talking about my passion here.
yeah. So you need to help me find the right microphone.
What are you using now?
An Audio Technica AT 2020.
That's really not. That's not a bad mic. The
Yeah.
Audio Technica stuff is great. When I first started the podcast years ago, I used Audio Technica headsets and Audio Technica mics. They're great. They're good quality. They're
Mhm.
affordable, and they're really just simple to use.
Mhm.
Right now, I'm addicted to trying different microphones. So right now, this is a Shure SM7.
Okay. I'll write that down.
This is
Okay.
a great. It's a dynamic mic, so it's beautiful. It's an XLR mic, so you need to have get to plug into a mixing board. But they also have the Shure MV7 or MV7 Plus now, which is a USB mic. You can get both. It comes with the attachments for the XLR and for the USB. Now it comes with the USB cord, but it doesn't come with an XLR, so you have to provide that for yourself if that's what you're using. Another great mic that I love, and it's sitting right there, like looking at me. Is if you want a really good, like a professional. I mean, this is a professional mic. That right there is a professional mic, and that's an incredible microphone. That's the Procaster from Rode. That's going to set you back a bit. The Procaster, I think, is like $400,
Okay.
and I think this one is about $300. And then they have a less expensive version. I say more cheaper. They have a less expensive version of the Procaster. It's the Rode Pod mic, so it's a little bit smaller than the Rodecaster. Like I don't know if it's too far out of reach. I can't go grab it, but I have all these mics. They're all sitting right here. So,
Mhm.
but like this is the Procaster.
Oh, nice.
All right,
Wow.
this
That
I love.
looks
I
like a
love
serious mic.
I love this thing. It has amazing sound. It's
Uh-huh.
great quality, but I have a tick when it comes to things,
Mhm.
and that is if I'm using everything has to be the same for me. Like,
Okay. You're
okay, so
OCD.
in that regard, yeah.
Okay.
So so the Procaster's a Rode mic. This is a Shure mic.
Mhm.
So I was looking for earbuds for the mixing board, and the only ones that I found that were affordable for myself at this point were the ones that I'm wearing now, which are put out by Shure. So I can't use my head. I can't use
Yeah.
a Rode microphone with a Shure headset. So I had to go back to using old tried and true here. So that's
Gotcha. I understand.
but for the Rode mic, I have the Rode headsets, which are absolutely phenomenal. I don't know if you can see that, but
Hmm.
these are phenomenal headsets. I mean, the sound quality is amazing. So what was the one they sent? What did you buy that didn't come with a cord?
I bought the Audio Technica AT2040 USB mic, and it had no USB. I'm like, what's going on here? So here's the thing: I've had this mic for many years, and it's fallen over a lot of times. So, and I've noticed, like with the podcasts that I do, sometimes my audio comes in and out a little bit, and so I'm like, okay, well, I know, like I've knocked it down a bunch of times at this point. I probably just need to get a new mic at this point. And I love Audio Technica. So I went with them again, and yeah, I was a little disappointed. But so, anyways, yeah,
I would recommend if you really want a good upgrade from the Audio Technica, go with the Shure MV7 Plus.
Okay.
All right, it'll set you back about $275 in that range.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's so worth it. The sound quality is
All right.
amazing. It's easy setup. It comes USB and XLR, so you could use it on both, whatever your
Awesome.
setup is. When I travel, I take my Shure MV7 Plus with me because then I can plug it into my laptop and I can.
Yeah.
And it has software that you would download from Shure. It's like a virtual board, so you just put right there on your laptop. You could do everything you do with a mixing board and all this stuff right through your laptop on the road with that. So it's great for travel. I love it. It's a great microphone. The quality is fantastic. I have like 2 of them, I think.
Hmm.
I know I gave one to my friend Wayne. I have that one, and then I have another one too. It's a condenser mic, so so in other words, like a dynamic mic is here. You can anywhere you go on it, you can hear it. But
Oh, nice.
On a condenser mic, there's a sweet spot, like right
Hmm.
usually in the front, and so you got to kind of stay in front of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
For sure.
and that's out of sight, so I can't tell you what it is. I think it's an SM4. It's a Shure mic also. And but that's a great mic too. I mean, when I used it for a little while, I gave it a test run. I'm going to eventually probably sell it, but it's great mic. It comes in a nice little package, a little travel case. It's really nice. It has a good weight to it, so it's built to last. It's built to sturdy.
Yeah, you can tell a good microphone from a cheap one for sure. Like this Audio Technica one, man, like it's heavy. So, yeah.
That's good stuff.
I get it. Yeah. I've bought some other cheap ones in the past, and I'm like, yeah, no, this is terrible compared to my Audio Technica. So,
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the audience is
yeah.
in the conversation. So,
All right. Yeah. No, we gotta get back to like crypto or something. Let's get.
yeah. Well, actually, we're at the hour, so we're gonna start to wrap this thing up for today. But I know
Sure.
that you made a video talking about giving readings in Columbus, Ohio, September 6th and
Mhm.
7th. Are you going to be anywhere else coming up anytime soon?
Yeah, so we're going to have Holistic Night at Global Brew Tap House in St. Charles, Illinois on, hold on, let's see, I'm pulling up my calendar. It's Friday, September 26th. From 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then I will be in Schaumburg, Illinois at the Body, Mind, Spirit Celebration Expo on September 27th through the 28th. You can go to bmse.net for more information on that. That's going to be at the Schaumburg Convention Center. So.
Nice. You're getting your way around.
Yeah, I start doing the expos this time of year. I'm not doing as many as I did last year, but yeah, so I'm going to start touring a little bit.
All right. Outstanding. Well, our resident crypto psychic, Marisa Lee, thank you for joining us again on this beautiful
Thank you for having me.
Afternoon here. Hey, let's see. September 13th, I think, is the next show we do, believe it or not, that far away.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, we got to talk about that. We got to talk about scheduling. I'm not going to be able to do it on the 13th, but I can do it on the 20th.
Okay.
So if we can flip-flop that.
No, for sure. The reason why I mentioned it is because I was talking to Barry Lewibrecht, who's the owner of podhome.fm. He's my host platform owner, CEO, and he's going to be on the show. He wants to be on the show. Well, not that he wants to. I asked him to come on the show. today actually, but he wasn't
Mhm.
able to. So we set a date for September the 13th. So we were going to split the show. So
Mhm.
you and him, and have the two of you on that particular day. But if you're not going to be there, that's fine, no problem. Let's do the show anyway, and then we'll pick you up on September 20th.
Yeah. Sounds
Outstanding,
good.
outstanding. But we'll talk about it more afterwards. You know,
For sure. For sure. Yeah. We'll
folks don't need
chat.
to know
We'll
this.
chat.
All right, Marissa Lee, thank you so much. God bless you. Have a great day. Enjoy
Thank
your
you for having
weekend.
me.
I'll talk to you later on.
Take care.
All
Bye-bye.
right, folks. Our resident crypto psychic has left the building. And speaking of podhome.fm is again my host platform, and on the audio side of the podcast. And Podhome is the most modern and easy to use podcast hosting platform that there is. That's why I love them. They're fantastic. They have an incredibly beneficial service, by the way. So for those of you who don't know, well, you wouldn't know because I never told anybody. But yesterday's show, for whatever reason, the audio after we did the live broadcast didn't back up for some reason on my encoder, which is what it normally does. But I also have it set on Podhome, which is something that most host platforms don't provide, by the way, to back up the recording, and which it did, which saved the audio for the show. So very, very, very important piece of technology that Podhome uses, and they saved the day on the audio side, at least. But Podhome is a great platform. It's the easiest, most modern podcast hosting platform that there is. You can publish your episodes with it. You can enhance your audio, automatically generates your transcripts, your chapters, your titles, your show notes. You could update your chapter art, your cover art. You could. The possibilities that you could do with Podhome are just amazing. And I said it last night, and I'll say it again today. When you're using Podhome, it literally feels like you have a whole team working with you when you don't. It's just you. So Podhome is a great platform. I encourage you to check it out. And Podhome also allows you to broadcast your show live. A lot of host platforms don't do that. Some advertise that they do, but they charge you a ridiculous amount of money as an access fee to it. So Podhome gives you all of that, plus the live, plus a web player, plus if you don't have a website for your podcast, they will provide you with a website for your podcast. Yeah, it'll have the podhome.fm domain attached to it, so you'd be a subdomain to that. But if you have your own domain name, you could still use the Podhome server as or website server for yours, and they will help you maintain that. They will provide you the content that you need to put up there or that you want to put up there. So great platform all around. Now you get all of that plus more. I didn't tell you half of the stuff that you get. You get all of that plus more for a monthly subscription of only $15.99 a month. $15.99 a month. Unlimited podcasts. So you could have say you have 4 or 5, maybe 6 shows that you do. You could have all of those on Podhome for that one price of $15.99 a month. A lot of other host platforms don't do that. They charge you per show. There are host platforms out there that charge you for the time that you post your show. So in other words, if you do a 2-hour show, they charge you for the amount of time that your show is posted. So you get everything is unlimited for $15.99 a month. And if you go there now and you sign up, you get 30 days free. 30 days free to play around with it. And I guarantee you're not going to want to give it up. So check out podhome.fm, podhome.fm, and get your 30 days free and then $15.99 a month shortly thereafter. All right. Folks, also just want to remind you to check out our programming announcements email list. Just head over to our website. It pops up right there on the homepage, or go to the contact section and fill out the web form right there. Get yourself on the mailing list. We send out emails for the shows where we have guests, or if there's any changes to the programming schedules. And I will apologize right now. I did not send out an email for today's show, so that's my bad. I just ran out of time to do it, so I wasn't able to. But generally speaking, we send them out for every show we do. And it's only for the shows. We're not going to send you any advertisements. We're not going to send you any promotions or anything like that. We are just going to send you information about the shows. That's it. All right. So the benefit to it is it's free, so it don't cost you nothing. 2, it keeps you in the loop. 3, it's the best way for us to keep in contact with everybody. All right, because we're not all connected on social media. We're not all connected with chats or anything like that. So the best way to get to you is through the email list. So go to the website, sign up for it, and stay in the know. All right, don't forget to check out our socials, Twitter, Truth Social, Minds, and Getter, all at Joe Rooz. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Joe Rooz Podcast. Instagram is not Joe Rooz, and TikTok is joe.rooz. All right. Now, as usual, our shout outs to our producing staff, our executive producers, Wayne Rankin, Rosanna Rankin, Carolina Jimenez, and Marisa Lee, who you just saw. And of course, our producer, Anonymous Angela. So thank you guys for all that you do. You guys are amazing and an amazing team that we have. Everybody's input is valuable. Now, if you want to get and become part of this team, the way you do that is through your donations. All right. So you could sign up for a monthly recurring donation of $17.76, and that gets you the associate producer credit. You can sign up as a producer for $18.36 a month, or an executive producer at $25 a month or more. And you get shout out on every show, like you just heard. You get included in all show notes. You get included in all the emails and anything that we send out. And as executive producers, you get to have at least a minimum 30-minute show with us. Or segment with us on a show. You just let us know, and we'll book that whole thing up. So that's a lot of fun too, because then you get to come on and chit chat with us and have some good conversation and talk about whatever's on your mind, whatever's trending that day, whatever you want to talk about, anything that's particularly important to you. And it's a great way for the audience to get to know who our producer team is. So check that out. If you have the means to do it, we would appreciate those things. We really do rely on those recurring donations. Now, you could also help us out with a monthly recurring donation in any amount, or you can do a one-time donation in any amount. And like Marissa said, we do accept cryptocurrencies as donations as well. So you can head over to our support page, and you'll find our wallets for Ethereum, Tether, Bitcoin, Texacoin. I think we have a Solana up there as well. So check them out. Check them out. If you can help us out, if you have the means to do it, we would really appreciate your support. And of course, to the folks that are watching or listening to us rather on the modern podcasting apps out there like Podverse and Podcast Guru and Fountain.fm and TrueFans.fm, thank you so much for the sats that you're streaming over to us. We really do appreciate it. And again, sats are just micropayments of Bitcoin. So really pennies it's not really a lot. So it shouldn't break the bank too much. If you want to help us out that way, we would really appreciate that as well. And you could do that right through those modern podcast apps. And you can get those modern apps at modernpodcastapps.com or at podcastindex.org. All right. Now, with all of that said, just want to say thank you, folks, for taking the time to be with us today here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Really do appreciate it. Head over to the website, joerooz.com. Don't forget to leave us a message. Let us know what you think. And folks, make Texas independent again. Go podcasting, keep a steady stride, and keep talking. God bless you. Have a great one. And we'll see you tomorrow for the Bible Study Show.
Until we meet again, happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds if we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you. Till we meet again. Some trails are